Prism, I want you to get excited about your life.
We cut back to the other two. The other group. You guys are now each sitting. You okay? All right. Cutting back to you two, or you three, excuse me. As you guys are surrounding this guy, Kono just sits in a cross-legged pretzel position, and he looks down at you three and says, "Now, why don't you go ahead and tell me why you want those powers that you mentioned?" And seeing as how Lavi is the most is the most I was gonna say most eager to share.
It's the most protagonisty.
Why don't you start us off? He points to Lavi.
Lavi, he sort of closes his eyes and he starts immediately getting the flashes of these images back again, and he's like, "I guess I want to find my focus again,
He
so
thinks,
I can protect." Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's fine. No, I'll leave it. He wants to find his focus again.
He says, "Wow, that's." He just strokes his beard and says, "That's rather self-knowing. I'm proud of you, young man." See, he looks at the others and says, "Well, aura comes from within, as you are probably aware." He nods at Kiza and Lavi, and Prism just kind of sits in the pretzel position.
And then falls over because he can't quite do it. It's like,
he just kind of tilts a little bit. And he looks and says, "Aura comes within, and the power itself is..."
Yeah, it does.
Shut up.
Aura comes deep within.
You suddenly get a whack on the back of your head. Back up here. Aura comes from within, it is intangible. Aura is determined by three things. One of them, he looks at Lavi, is focus, such as focusing on our task and not making jokes. The other is determination and the belief in oneself. That he looks at Kiza and Prism, both of them just kind of sitting and just kind of taking it. And he then hops down again and says, "You need to find what drives you and what makes your emotions come from within." He says, "Remember, determination." He boops Lavi on the head. He says, "Focus." He boops Kiza. And belief in oneself. He boops Prism. And Prism goes, I have no idea why you booped me. No. He says, "Don't worry, young man." And he comes back to Lavi and thinks and says to you guys, "There's a million other factors at play, but essentially what you want to do is take your emotions and not control them, but focus them and use them for your advantage. If you look at my friend here, the Zorak hops down. My old friend is ancient with age, and he shows this Zorak covered in various scars and wounds that it's gotten across its life. It says, in his past, this Zorak did not have a grand life. It didn't have a good upbringing like some of you. Actually, I imagine, I don't know. What was your past, young man?"
Oh, Lavi, he kind of thinks.
I'm gonna be here for a while.
All right.
He's like, I don't.
You know what? That was a mistake.
Oh, Jesus, really? All right.
Go ahead.
Well, my father and the dragons and the blood.
Well, Lavi essentially he talks about how one of the last memories he had, or the earliest memory he has, was that what happened on that night with his mom and the Rayquaza. Says it's still fuzzy even to this day, but and the more memory, the easier memories that he has are obviously being raised with the dragons and stuff, and that's all he's really ever known. He only remembers fragments of what happened, and he somehow has nightmares about that day, and he started thinking about those now ever since the whole thing with Jade, Luna, and Scarlet being taken. So that's kind of I'm condensing all that as what he's just essentially said to everyone.
All right, so the old man acknowledges, says, how does, with this past, you said you're feeling inadequate and powerless, correct?
Yeah.
No,
Prism's like, yeah, a little the same. Quiet, I'll get to you.
Oh, I forgot you were here for a second.
that's so mean to
Kono looks at you and says, use that.
Use it.
Yes, no, seriously, use that. He pokes you in your shoulders again. He says, no, you cannot, the popular theory that a lot of self-proclaimed gurus think is that you need to control your emotions. That's literally impossible. Such as...
Yeah, when Lavi makes the point how whenever he does aura sense, he can tell obviously a person's emotion and that affects their aura. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right, actually.
He says, much like this. He slaps you in the back of the head with his cane.
Ow!
Pikachu!
You take 5 damage. How does that make you feel?
Confused more than anything.
See, you can't control that. He smacks you again. Can you control that one?
No.
He says, very well. See, I will make my point over here now. Prism backs away. No, I get it. It's cool. I get it. Can't control my emotions.
It's like this. No.
Lavi. Prism stands up, says, all right, if we're sharing, so Lavi, sorry about your past. That sucks.
Thanks, buddy.
I didn't, my father didn't kill my mother, although sometimes I feel like he did.
Thanks.
Because my parents, they were both excellent trainers, and that's where I learned. My dad and mom were a team, in the Pokemon League, and they were best friends growing up. And when they won the Utopus region, they got married shortly after. So, I don't know, part of me always thought that I would meet my wife in the Pokemon League. I know that's stupid.
And then you met Luna, and it all went down hell from there, didn't it, man?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, because it's not like their marriage ended well, Like, oh no, he found someone else, and she, he has the right to love who he loves, but what happened to her? She just got, she had to leave the house, and, she was heartbroken, and I had to take care of that, and that's not something you do to a kid,
No, yes. Larry's just kind of nodding. Because he can not relate to this at all. He's just like, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
Like, seriously, Lavi...
It's in the past.
Prism killed his mother with his...
Pulling her feet.
No, he goes, no, and that's fine. It's just, and I know this sounds lame, and your past is way worse than mine. Why do I deserve to feel sorry for myself, right?
And Lavi's like, it seems like you're more scared about living up to any expectations of what your parents accomplished, but I mean, you're not your parents.
I see, I know that. I'm not stupid, okay? He just puts his hands into his face and says, I just hate this. I don't want to be the trainer, but I should because I'm good at it. I mean, not now, but I was. This is ridiculous. And like I said, your past is way worse. He looks at you. How are you still together? I don't get it.
Lavi kind of thinks to himself for a minute, and then he starts seeing flashes again, but it's of all the good times with Lavi, Jade, Luna, and he's like, I guess it's because I've give myself something to fight for. I make them my focus. And he starts all the bad images start getting overlaid, and he's just thinking of the girls, and is like, yeah, that's. He looks at his fist, like, that's what I think about every time I use the focus punch. It's not just protecting. I'm not just protecting their well-being. I want them to be happy, to be safe, so we can go back to those. So we can go back to the to the fun times. The fun times, that's wrong. The good times, Lavi looks again, and he's like, that's. He's like, the past is the past, and it's it's been and it's gone, but the future's always coming, right? So I'll focus on that. I'll focus on the friends I have, the lives we can live, the people we can become. That's what I focus on. Yeah, Like Lavi sort of feels the aura flowing back into his fist. Like he's not even like trying; it's just happening.
Is it visible? No, it would not be visible to Prism. But he's like, see that's what I want. I want that assuredness. He looks at you and says, how can I be like you? How can I focus on that? But
yeah, Lavi kind of chuckles and he's just like, Prism, I'm not a great Pokemon trainer like you. I mean, you were talking all this stuff about strategies and all this stuff, and I don't know any of that. I have the girls to help me out. I mean, when I was found, I still don't know how to interact with people on any sort of level. Lavi's kind of acknowledging that he does not know people. He's, it's like human beings are still a mystery to me. I'm probably not the best person to take role model advice from.
He just sighs and stands back a little and says, all right, so you got your focus being your friends. Like, I'm happy for you, man.
What do you want for the future?
He says, I don't know. That's my problem, I think. I thought I wanted to win. Well, when I was younger, I thought I wanted to win the league. When I got older, I thought I wanted to get out of the house. Then I thought I wanted my team. And when I got my team, they're great. I mean, you've met them, right? Plaid, Amber, they're nice people. And Crystal's odd, but, no, she's always been supportive, despite, not being super social. I've always been, that sad sack, and I hate it. I hate being me. Just this, and he messes with his ponytail a bit, my stupid hair, my stupid face. Ugh.
Lavi kind of looks over. He's like, I don't think Luna ever thought you were a sad sack. She always said you were chipper and a team leader.
Well, I hope I can be that, but. And Kiza interrupts and says, well, I don't know, I haven't known you long, but I know Lavi here, and you think he's a nice guy, right?
Yeah. I was like, Lavi's like, I do. It's like, Prism, I pretty much do an aura check on everyone, and I can pretty much tell a lot just by a person's aura, and I've never sensed anything other than genuineness from your aura. There's never been any malicious intent or anything. You just gotta be the best you can be and just hope for the best, really. That's all I do. I never try to be anything else.
He says, okay, I'll try to be whatever I am. I just wish I could find it like you can. He says, that's why he holds out a Pokeball. He says, that's why I named it Lavi. Well, at least not at first, but that's why I still call it Lavi.
That's the complete opposite why I named it Lavi.
That's a lie. I'm sorry, Lavi.
I took it as a bit of a rib, and then...
I'm sorry. That was... you were right. Like, you are kind of like Gyarados.
Well, there you go. I mean, you named it Magikarp because you thought very little of it like me, but now look at it. It evolved. It became your strongest Pokemon. So surely your next step is to... And then he just sort of shrugs and goes, evolve. Become the next version of you.
And Kiza just like, wow, that's really good, Lavi. She gives like a little, nice job.
Yeah, and then all the spirits are here and they're like, congratulations!
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 And then we all turn
Symbolism!
Orange juice!
I understood that reference.
She says, yeah, all you can do is evolve. I mean...
Prism, I want you to get excited about your life.
Don't ruin the moment, X.
That's okay. And Kono kind of looks at Kiza and says, well, you've been unusually quiet. What about you?
Kono comes along and goes, that's all wrong. You're all getting the wrong message here. No, this is good.
Start over.
This is good, he says. See, he comes over to Prism and he wraps his arm around, and Prism's like, oh god, no, he smells so much. And Kono says, no, see, you can't control your emotions, and the fact that you are conflicted and that you've acknowledged that is a start. That's that's really what I'm trying to. That's really all that aura is. That's all that this is. And Kiza goes, yeah, go, Prism, go. And Prism just gets let go, and the old man comes over to Kiza and says, you've been quiet this whole time. What about you? What's your story? Kiza just backs up and says, well, I have a family too. They're not supportive of my life decisions. She kind of tightens her robes a little bit more and just kind of shuffles awkwardly and says, and I don't appreciate them not supporting my life decisions. And I think I could leave it from there. I think that's my business, right? And Kona says, yes, it certainly is. I hope you could work it out. He says, yeah, my siblings, real jerks. Don't care for them sometimes. Really?
Wish I could murder them.
She goes, no, this is my choice, and I want to stay as I am. And yeah, that's all I want to share. She just says, stepping back.
I was like, come on, Kiza, we came here together to figure this out. I mean, we've all got to share. Surely there's more to it than that. Yeah, Lavi puts his face like really close to Kiza, like, is it a secret? Like, not realizing what he's doing, but he's just like really close to her right now.
She flushes a little bit and says, that's not it. She backs up a little bit and says, it's this. She holds out her fingers, like, and she just kind of wiggles them and like in front of your face a little bit, just being me, you know. I'm not allowed to be me with my family. Just hoping you'll get it, like wiggling her fingers in your face.
I got it. Okay.
It's fine if you don't. Lavi would not probably get these signals.
I can help.
She quickly destroys that image and then comes back.
Like, Lavi just kind of looks at her warmly, and he kind of is like, "Well, I like you no matter what form you have, and you should like you no matter what form you have."
She thinks for a moment and says, "Okay, yeah, I'll keep it. You know, I've got my village, and they're my family now, and yeah, those are." She just kind of hides behind her hair somewhere and says, "I've got more family."
More family? What?
And she just like swishes her hair around like into her face and just like hides it now.
Exactly. Are you getting a fever? Lavi does that thing that they do in all like shonen manga where it's like, are you getting a fever? He like lifts her fringe up and puts his forehead to hers. Like,
yeah, I never understood why people do it that way. It's kind of stupid. Like,
because awkward.
It's like, I could just use my hand, but I'm gonna use my forehead.
Her hair evaporates for a second and then reforms. She just backs up and says, "Yeah, I'm me. Yeah, you should be you too, Prism, right? Yeah." She grabs Prism and pulls him over and says, "Yeah, we're just us, right? Friendship, woo." She raises a hand, hoping, and Prism raises a hand. Yeah, friendship. I believe in my friends now.
Larry just pats Kiza on the head. Like he just sort of strokes her head gently. He's like, "Yeah, good.
Yeah, let's go continue the training." As Kono just nods at you, says, "Ah, yes, let's continue."